please welcome to the stage, Sarah.
How many of you are here because you want to be great speakers? And how many of you are here because inevitably you'd like to do a TED Talk? It's the dream, isn't it? So what if I told you that TED had contacted me to speak? And TED had asked me to share my story, a story that they thought was worth sharing. And so what they wanted me to do was to talk about the opportunities that you create through sharing vulnerability. The irony of that is I felt so vulnerable by the opportunity that they were creating for me that I turned it flat down, deleted the email, and will never speak to them ever again. So, for those of you that don't know me, I'm an international matchmaker, dating expert, and coach for those trying to navigate the online dating scene and find love offline. And actually, I felt like a complete imposter. So I'll start from the start with this story, and it was because on the 4th of February 2016, I had woken up with awful feelings in my stomach, and I'd been having awful nightmares all night long about tornadoes coming into my life and ripping the floor from beneath my feet. I had no idea what was going on that day. What I can tell you is that evening I came home and I had been ghosted. Now, for those of you that are married and happy and in relationships, and I was too, you probably don't know what ghosting is. And it's given a very cute terminology by the Urban Dictionary, which we can thank back in 2011. Thanks, Urban Dictionary. And it's normally for those navigating the online dating scene, you know, those apps. And if you're not in with someone, not all in, you kind of just get rid of them, disappear them from their lives and block them completely. That had happened to me when I was all in. I was 7 years all in my relationship. And I was building businesses with my partner all in, building a life together all in. And we had a home together all in, living my life between London and New York, flying back together and building this amazing, what I thought was an empire built on love and respect for each other. And then that day, on the 4th of February, in the busiest time for a matchmaker, the lead up to Valentine's Day, I was ghosted. So I felt like an imposter in my career. How was I supposed to go to work that day, manage a team and keep the morale up, matchmakers, and teach them how to navigate the path for love for other people? I was so vulnerable. So what I did was the only thing as a creative I knew how to do, and that was put pen to paper, or back in 2016, opened my laptop, and I started to write. I wrote a blog called The 30 Days of Heartbreak, and I dubbed it that because I wanted every day to be progress. I wanted it to be a story about what I was feeling and how I wanted to help heal myself. And by doing that, and by writing and sharing my vulnerability, I reached 3,000 hearts that were broken around the world every single day for 30 days. They wrote back to me and they told me how my words had resonated with them and that I'd help them be loved back to life. What they didn't realise was they were loving me back to life by sending testimonials of my work, my vulnerability and creativity, and it was the most amazing time of my life. So, when I say amazing, I mean for my business. It created opportunities that I hadn't foreseen, with TED reaching out to me, and I saw a niche. I saw that there was nothing out there to help broken hearts, a grief that I was feeling, a weight too heavy to bear, a weight that I didn't know I could deal with. And so what I can tell you is that when you have a heart that has been broken, share your vulnerability. They say the only way to heal a broken heart is to let love seep out through all of the cracks like an ocean. And when you do that, you will heal yourself and you will learn to love yourself. And the way I showed love for myself was by sharing my vulnerability, creating those opportunities, and I built a business called the Heartbreak Coach. And by doing that, I found my one true calling in life, and I've learned that we all love and we all experience loss, and I was not an imposter. Thank you.
John. I can say that was a very well presented talk. I say I love the story. I don't love what happened to you, but I love the results that you got from it. And I really love the vulnerability, the way that you shared it all with us and showed us exactly what you said you were going to do in the title of the talk. How sharing vulnerability creates these opportunities and has opened up a whole new, basically a whole new career for you. And the numbers of people that you were helping because you went down that route. The only piece of feedback I can think to offer is, please tell me you're reaching back out to Ted and saying, you know what,
I wanted to finish with that, but then I was trying to just gather my feeling of, wanting to be sick.
please, when you find a way to get yourself there, because that certainly is an idea worth sharing.
And the speech I just gave you was pretty much not what I prepared.
If it's good enough for Martin Luther King, I figure it's good enough for the rest of us. You went with what was important to you. It didn't come across as not being the speech that you prepared. Don't tell anyone that. It came across very, very well. Very well.
Thank you so much.
That's right, it's okay. Take her away. So look, I know what you've been through the last few days, and I just want to acknowledge you for persevering, and getting up there and just doing it. So now it's done. Did you have fun?
Yeah, I think so. I couldn't feel my knees, but after I started to ground, it was good to share. It was actually the first time I'd ever physically shared the story through words that weren't typed, actually. I mean, I've talked, yeah.
Are your arms still attached?
I think so.
Your legs, can you move them?
Yeah.
Is your head still?
No, I've no idea what I said.
That's okay, because it's been recorded. Is your head still attached?
Yeah.
So you're okay?
Yeah.
Good. So more of that, please.